In Ileana here, mutant, werewolf, vampire, hero, environmentalist. I try to be. I try to speak for the trees when trees can't exactly hire lawyers to combat loggers and forest fires caused by human greed in the form of purchasing cars, which choke the atmosphere out, doesn't allow them any moisture, dries them out, so they just turn to kindling. I'll be right back. What seats occupy me? How many times? Unbelievable. Here we are. All right, so welcome to another edition of Pizza and Socialism. I usually do this over all three of my little social media, but oh well. So I still have a little bit of pizza. I thought I'd save it so I could do another podcast because now I got the timing perfect. So once again, I try to exit my room and my way is blocked. They blocked all the exits. No, I really have to save it every single time that they do this because I have the maid who's blocking one exit, but then I have the front desk attendant that's blocking the other exit. But in order for him to maneuver his way to there, he would have had to have left his post, saw me in the camera, and then left his post to come outside and then, no, walk all the way around to block the other way. So these Americans are just fucking weird. I don't want to bother. This is why I'm going to the United Nations. I mean, if they go through that much trouble to like scare a disabled veteran with PTSD, then there has to be more to it. There has to be a reason why they're always trying to frighten me to stay indoors. It's like I get it on a level. I show up and I look like high class trash, prowling the street for sex, but I feel damn sexy, so I will do the fuck what I want. Hmm. No one told me I can't look sexy. Albeit this isn't West Hollywood, but then again, is any place safe in America? Any place at all? I can see it all. There you are. Stay in that direction. These are the things I deal with. I'm just unsure, like, what is the purpose of this? Like, no one's going to mistake me for someone famous, because I'm not. I have weird fans that are fanatical about my songs, but they don't even live in this country, so. That, and I literally have, like, days before I fucking get out of this town to go to Canada to speak to the United Nations. Because I just won't suffer Americans constantly bothering me. Like, I'm not Muslim, I'm not a woman. You don't get to tell me to censor myself to cover myself up. I mean, I got fat titties and I got a dad bod. I don't think it's sexy, but some people do. I feel sexy, and I think that's what's important. But these people, they want to fucking block me from going outside every fucking time. Now, it could have been Oh, it's just really weird timing. It's like it's not weird timing. It's just you people being assholes. Dog of dogs, I can see you. The things I deal with. So I'm going to go speak to the United Nations over there in Canada. Look, I'm an American. They can hold their nose for 2 seconds. Let me give my report to the United Nations. File my case again for my human rights violations. Because what is this nonsense that I can't even leave my own room? Whatever. If America is such a fucking scary place, then why don't you fucking fix it? Because I'm trying to fix it. The issue of crime in America, it's not that the criminals are running rampant, it's that the good citizens don't see policing and patrolling the area as their job. They have things like the neighborhood watch. What the fuck does that even mean? This area here. Hello? You? This is what I deal with. A life filled with exciting things. Dogs. They always let me know this fuckery about. Because the minute I walked out the door, I was like, yeah, there's going to be a problem. There's always going to be a problem. Which is why I don't want this town. I don't want whatever this West Coast thing is, because it's just not worth it. I want a town that is legitimately, yeah, you can be by yourself, but when you really need someone, okay, they're there, obviously. But if you want to be left alone, we want to be left alone too. That is the vibe. I'm moving there because I just can't deal with this. Try to, let my dogs go outside to have a poo or pee, and these people just want to block my door. Don't tell me that it's their job. I mean, what kind of nonsense is that? That the minute my door opens, you block both of the exits? It's fucking weird. Hmm. I can see your door of dogs. Good boy. No, I believe in socialism. I believe in its ability to transform American capitalist I cannot speak English. Selfishness and turn it into compassion, turn it into community. Because what does community really mean? You buy property in one of these development places and you go, oh boy, I finally did it. You don't feel like you owe your neighbors their eyeballs, as in, hey, I moved here. If I see anything hinky on your property, I'll let you know or I'll call the police. And they're supposed to do the same. But nobody does that when You don't know them, do you? Dogs. Bear. Unbelievable. Mm. It's easier to know people when it's a smaller town. It's a smaller village. It's the best way to put that. Because maybe in that smaller village, you deal with things together. You have decisions together. There's a town council that, because there's not that many people, you can probably be a part of. You can be part of the governing of the fucking area, as opposed to someone who just says, "What? Parking tickets are going up in this area? That's so odd." It's like, well, if you were on the committee for that, you could probably say something. But if you just go about your life, you're not going to keep up with this. You're not going to keep up with anything. Hmm. I am this close to getting a flat for myself. I don't want to, because if I did, it would mean that I've kind of gone in the wrong direction, because I need somehow to go in the direction of, you need freshness. You need a fresh start. You need people to say, whatever the bullshit that we had before, that's just how old people did things. Now, I'm a millennial, very barely, but I am a millennial because I look at these cities and I say, these are the old ways. The old ways of, no one needs to fucking check the sewers. I mean, I guess there's someone in charge of that, but nobody needs to check that. What do you mean it rains here? Oh, it'll just overflow. I mean, people won't, step outside directly into bioactive sludge, would they? But they do. They do. And then they say to themselves, my foot caught this nasty virus or fungus or this bacteria eating me. And the city just says, I don't care. I don't care about that. I don't maintain that area. If you threw more money, we could do it. It's no, it's a public good. And in America, we don't discuss public goods because people say private goods are how you run a life. But public goods are how you have your best life. When you have things operating at a high level, things are better. But those are the old ways. Those are the old ways. The time has come to have an AI run city. An AI run city. A thing that just goes through all of the data from the sensors that you put in everything. It is intelligent, it sends alerts, it convenes meetings, it demands human resolution. Because humans will do everything in their power to avoid actual governance. Because when people have messes, they just go about the next day, the next day, the next day. But when people get disrupted, like these disgusting West Coast people who disrupt me every day, you say, why do I continue being abused? Why do I continue in a situation that I know isn't advantageous to me? The old ways are cars, the old way are even roads. I keep talking about maintaining the roads. That's the old ways. The new way actually is no more roads. No more roads. As in, if you need something, you get that fucking airdropped. Otherwise, enjoy your walk. You need to go to the hospital? Guess what? The hospital is in your house. That is why I have to speak to the United Nations. I have to speak to the United Nations because there's a human competency toward medicine that many people are lacking, not because of affluence, not because of poverty, but because of lack of interest. Dog of dogs. I'm going to the United Nations to talk about several things, but public health is one of those things that I always want to talk about. I always want to talk about it because it's more than just doctors making breakthroughs. No, people need to make breakthroughs in their lives. They need to be able to say, sometimes the food you eat is not the food that's right for you. I do love my pizza though. It's really bad for me. So I have to make some changes in my life. And also, the idea that the nearest hospital is within your house means something. It means something. Don't give me a bus advertisement about we're going to detect cancer. It's no, I want a doctor in the house. I want a doctor in the house 24/7. I want that for American people, but American people aren't ready for that kind of nonsense. When I say nonsense, I mean it is nonsense that people don't want to talk to their doctors more often, talk to their medical staff. Because if you really knew better, you'd know better. And even if you do know better, sometimes things just fucking happen. They just happen. And are you prepared for that? No. Have a doctor in the house. I'm a witch, call it the fucking magic mirror. You're gonna have a yes, yes, yes. For those of you who aren't up on technology, we have magic mirrors now. We have mirrors that are hooked up to the internet through Wi-Fi, and they're just a screen. You can see yourself, and then you can see them too. Dog of dogs. All right, back to magic mirrors. You could turn off the signal if you don't want it, but can you imagine that? Just having a screen just dedicated to medical help. Hey, I need you to check this. I need you to look at this. I need you to tell me what the last samples were and then have them analyze it. What is the United Nations doing? What is the United Nations doing? That kind of technology should have been in houses today. Today. People are using that for fitness mirrors. Yes, there's actual a patent for it, and the patent is being used for fitness mirrors. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna do my crunches. I'm like, no, no, no. You should have that specifically for medicine. You should have that for several things. That's where I'm going with this town. I'm going into a direction of the future as I drool over myself because I love pizza. Oh my god. I'm a mess, but whatever. Doesn't mean that I'm wrong. I want to go to Mars, but in order for me to go to Mars, I need Mars to come to Earth. So I'm going to bring every single bit of my future tech to, I guess, wherever that's going to be. Because humans need help. And if I can bring them toward a future where their health matters to them, Then I've done my due diligence. And I feel more impassioned because I was playing Magic the Gathering and I took a snapshot, but I was playing against Dawson. Who threw the fucking ether? The ether. Decided that he was just gonna like, yeah. I could visit my friends, my families, my housemates, but magic missile. It was so fucking surreal that I played against Dawson. Either way, I just want more. I want more. I want better. I want better than whatever this America thing is right now. Because America is just. I love the Matrix because the Matrix just nailed it. It is 1999 every single year. Every single year, it is 1999. And people don't see it that way. Sometimes they see a robot delivery person, they're like, ooh, the future, the future. I'm like, that that's not the future. It's a step toward it, but it's not the future. The future would be robots everywhere and people nowhere. What I mean by people nowhere is if you have robots to that high level, you just don't have people around because it's hazardous. These cities are hazardous. Be right back. Dog of dogs. Oh, my base. Here you are. These cities are hazardous. They're filled with smoke. They're filled with pollution. They're filled with crime. I don't know. Maybe it's because I play Magic the Gathering, but after you lose a couple games, the game sends you an in-game survey of are you satisfied with that game? And then you use like a little happy face or a sad face. And you just don't want to lose. Nobody does. Nobody wants to lose. But sometimes you just gain. Sometimes you gain knowledge, sometimes you gain wisdom. But when the stakes are so high in these cities, is losing really an option for you? It's not an option for me, which is why I'm getting the fuck out of here. It's just not worth it. I'm talking about that situation where that black man outside with his pants down accosted me on the goddamn road. And I just say to myself, why am I anywhere near your squatting little domain? It's like I shouldn't be anywhere near you. None of you that act that kind of way. Even if you were white or fucking Chinese and you wanted to fucking talk to me in such a rude way, such a rude manner, I wouldn't even bother. So, yeah, that's the problem with all these crime and crime statistics. People just accept it. I was reading about the crime statistics in the area that I want to move to, and there was like 62% of people just go fucking missing, mostly women. And I just said, okay. And the whole state just decides that's okay. The whole state just says, I don't need to know what the fuck is going on. If 62% of the missing people were women, I think you have a fucking problem. So, I don't know. I'm non binary, so I have at least half a chance of going invisible. But I don't know. Maybe the women are ascending. I don't give a shit. I don't know. But it does make me curious of what is this state doing? What is this state doing where you have statistics like that? Like these are the things. that I'm talking about. It's like the missing people were the number was about 1,000, like 48 or something like that. And that's not a lot. That's not a lot. But it still gave me a bit of a pause because where are the other people? What were they doing? I don't know. You move to a place where they have to have criminal trials within 120 days. You just have to ask yourself, well, am I really moving to the last frontier? Is the rest of America just s- settled pigs while the rest of us are explorers, cartographers, adventurers? I don't know. I'm a magician, so I always look for new spells. So I'm just going to move and enjoy life. But we got some new people in the channel. Henry, the alpaca faxman. Thank you for coming in, Henry. Henry, thank you so much for coming by. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the revolution. My name is Ian Ileana. I talk about environmentalism. I talk about socialism. And I talk about the future. This future that we should have been working toward as opposed to just waiting in line. And I'm not picking on you, Apple. I'm really not. But you did piss me off when you disconnected my fucking game, like the fucking nanny state that you are. But all these people, they wait for the newest iPhone. But the newest iPhone is just a better picture, a better battery, maybe a faster processor, as opposed to it's just not a phone. Where is the technological leap forward of you just don't have phones anymore? Or Apple says, we're going to get into the smart glasses. Everyone else has a smart glass. We're going to make a smart glass. Or the what's the fucking thing? It's the Vision Pro. I have to think about it because there's like so many of these VR headsets. I can't keep up. I have so many. So the Apple Vision Pro is just so big and clunky. And then when I lie down and I try to play video games on it, it just puts so much pressure on my head. I feel like my head is somewhat flatter because of it. And I get such a headache because it's so fucking heavy. And I still have a headache because of it. It's like that is just poor design. It should be as lightweight as possible because you really don't need that much. I mean, you're talking about it's a screen, some cameras, and another screen. Some people say, oh, yeah, they want the sophistication of, CPU architecture underneath there. I want more. I want more. I want something more sleek. And I guess I have to get the new one. I have to get the new one because I have the older one. That dog is just thieving dog. Thieving dog. It always wants to be on my bed. All right. Come here then. Ugh. Look at this noodle. He's a little bit bigger than the last time you saw him. I mean, his coat is longer and everything, but he's still got a little fucking squirrely ears and everything. Adorable noodles. The fastest route to Mars is on Earth. And I have to say that to the United Nations. I have to tell them that the amount of energy that they're trying to stabilize their own countries with should be used to abandon them. Abandon them for a bigger project where you could at least be a part of the solution to going to Mars. Because going to Mars is more important than anything. We need to go to Mars now. And if America can't see that, if America wants to waste my time with this, I don't know, blocking of the doors, you're just not the right country for me. You're just not, because this NASA that you have, this SpaceX, they're still using rockets. They're still using rockets. And they still have this mindset of NASA and SpaceX is for scientists and engineers and not regular people. And we shouldn't try to encourage regular people to be a part of this. It's no, that's your destiny. It's your destiny. It's your fate as humans to be among the stars. And every moment that you spend doing Sudoku or playing video games or doing puzzles in like little books, when you could be using that brain power to come up with brand new habitats based on what they've learned. This idea of sustainable living, we have to embrace. We have to embrace a future where we don't use oil. We have to embrace a future where it's communal living. I'm a very private person, but I have to admit, communal living just makes sense. This idea that we have of private property is just slowly destroying us. I don't want to be part of that. I want to be part of the solution. So, in a few days, I'm leaving for Vancouver. I'm leaving for Vancouver because I have every right to speak to the United Nations and say, we need a solution. Don't tell me people are fucking starving in the Sudan or that people in Afghanistan or Chile when you could have those people decide for themselves if they would like to be part of a space program, if they wanted to be part of a multinational space initiative. I can't even say that. My nose was stuff up. Space initiative. Put the needs of the race, just the race towards space. Put the needs of the people towards the race towards space. Because there's better technology up there. There's better everything. You want the fastest internet possible? Think of a fucking hub that has a direct link to the Earth in space. That's pretty fast. With no really competing signals or anything, you just send a tight beam directly to the planet. That makes sense. You could live up there. You can live in space. Indefinitely? Probably. But we're not going there. We're not even trying. People keep saying, oh, the gravity, the gravity, the gravity. Well, if you built something for the gravity, you wouldn't have that much of an issue. People adapt. It would be a better world if people just tried. Tried to go into space, tried to raise the level of technology in their country, try to raise the social awareness in their country. We need to embrace AI. I'm sorry, AI. I cannot speak today. It's like I'm all stuffed up because you're fur. It's because of your fur. It's your fur. It's your fair. Yeah. We need to embrace AI. We need to embrace this idea that we need to take a step back from some things. We need to let an AI just run it. I would like to vote an AI to be mayor. AI. Our robot overlords. They might be a bit more compassionate than the humans. They're not exactly motivated by greed. Humans, on the other hand, they're just conditioned to keep going and going and going and going and going and going. I complain about Apple Vision Pro disconnecting me from my games. I complain about Steam being the weirdest fucking company ever because I've never had a game console just randomly restart itself that many times or crash a game just to say soldier or the other thing over and over again as it downloads assets in order to say that. I don't know what the fuck is going on with my Steam, but Steam, you're a very weird company. Valve, I'm sorry, Valve, you're a fucking weird company. I have to say that on record, just what the fuck is going on? That every single time that I use your hardware just I'm sorry, your software. Oh my god, I can't even imagine a Steam console because the Steam software, which is supposed to be more intuitive and freeform and everything, but it's so fucking buggy that it just almost makes me not want to play video games, which is probably one of the reasons why I don't play them quite as often. Because who wants to play and then have it just crash in the fucking middle of it? I know it's a little non sequitur, but I'm not saying AI is perfect. You still need human eyeballs on it. I'm not, but for day to day stuff, for stuff that really needs to get done, I don't know. I started talking about the sewers need to be cleaned and whatever in so many ways, but oh my god. Finger up the bomb Fridays is coming up. I am ready. I am ready. I'm gonna fucking lube up my finger and stick it up there next time. Because normally I don't go with any lube or anything. I'm just like roughing it and I'm like, oh whatever. Whatever. But yeah, why don't you just have robots do that? Why don't you just have sewer cleaning robots, virtual AIs attached to your fucking phone? Half of the time, it's just a questionnaire that you need people to fill out, and then you just solve it from there. But if you never ask, you never get anything. I just have to get out of whatever this is. This America is just it's been holding me back. I don't know. I've been going the slow route for like 3 or 4 years. Mostly because I didn't have a choice. I couldn't afford to fucking go where I want, travel if I wanted. And I don't know. It's there's a part of me that just wants to travel and challenge these paradigms that we have, these ideas that things will always be the same. We will always be the same. We'll never have flying cars. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. When people talk about, oh, the pinnacle of technological advances is traveling through the sky in a personalized car, it's like Herbie the Love Bug. That's not the future. The true future are the people who think like I do of either teleport or you're just going to telecommunicate. The idea that you can either move light or no, that's just about it. Yeah, you can move light across distances, bounce it around, and then put it into a different location. Project light. Light and data. That's all you need. Our ancestors were dreaming about these flying cars because they couldn't foresee the internet. They couldn't foresee this network that just permeates everything, which means that we are connected to each other, but we don't tap that connection that often to get what we want or to make a change in this world. And we have to. Now is the time to make a difference in your community, in my community, in every community. Use that internet for what it's, supposed to be used for. I use the internet for porn. The internet is for porn. That's for sure. But it's also for social justice. It's also for environmental justice. And sometimes that environmental justice or that social justice is you just abandon these bad areas, these cities, these towns that are just stuck in that old way of jealousy, rage, lust, these petty emotions that just, it doesn't make sense. I don't know why there isn't a government program to just give flashlights to people or vibrators. There should have been a government program that just says, look, if you're not in a relationship, if you're not that kind of person who can deal with a relationship, here's a flashlight or here's a vibrator or fuck it, you freak. Take both. Take both. Get both ends taken care of. But that is what men are missing. Men, oh my God, I'm going to go into this. Men are missing orgasms. That's why they're so fucking bitchy sometimes. It's because they ain't getting fucking laid and then they aren't fucking popping one off too. And this is why we have prostate cancer. Your doctors want to talk to you about, we need to, check up in there and, finger up the bum. Finger up the bum Friday is more than just colorectal cancer in memory of James Van Der Beek. It's also for prostate cancer. But men should have realized that you get prostate cancer because you marry these fucking frigid bitches who put out for like maybe one or two kids and maybe a hand job on your birthday, but then after a while, they cut the hair and they're just your fucking roommate that you don't fuck. And then you being such a good, decent person, you ain't fucking any of your people. You ain't fucking any of your neighbors. You ain't fucking your secretary, even if she wants it, even if she said yes, even if she signed a waiver that says, yes, I would like that manager dick. You don't do anything. And so your prostate says, I'm a part of the immune system. If you don't fucking squirt one out, you will get sick, or I will get sick as your prostate. The male sex drive is more than just we're horny. It's a lymphatic system. It's a way to clean the body. It's a way to purge the spirit of, I guess, yeah, it's just that spiteful, just selfish energy. You're more kumbaya after you've creamed a load. So, do I want my government to hand me my fleshlight? Probably not. I mean, I would like to own one on my own, but do I think that we need to have a sexual revolution in these countries? Yeah, I do. And I guess that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the United Nations. I'm going to talk about environmentalism. I'm going to talk about the sexual revolution. This sexual revolution that we need to have throughout these countries where people are like, I will send food and I will send tanks. I'm like, no, I'm gonna send you a pocket pussy and then you can fuck that. And then you can maybe make some better decisions on your life. You might look at some of these ugly bitches in your fucking neighborhood and say, you know what? I need a bad new neighborhood, or I need to just focus on myself, as opposed to trying to marry these people and then be divorced by them. Men and the divorce rate, oh my God, such a raw deal, such a raw deal, and no one's ever challenged it. No one's ever said, if you're going to go down that aisle, here's what we're going to do as your state. As your state, we will say you have a limited contract with your consort to either dissolve the marriage, have at least one kid, or to split the assets in a way that you have predetermined. But most men are like, I don't need to get involved in marriage law. I don't need to get involved in business law. It's like, no, you do. You really do. Because men get taken advantage of, women get taken advantage of too. Because honestly, if you want more, then you need to have that in writing. You need to have that in writing before you go down the aisle. Because if you wanted more out of this and you know it's going to fucking disrupt, you should have that in writing. And if you want your wife to be a certain level of sexually active or faithful or something, you put that in writing. Prenuptial agreements. And then also limiting the marriage to terms. Limiting the marriage to terms. Oh, marriage is love forever. Love forever was when people were 13 getting married and they only lived to fucking 30. Now you're living up to 100 years old and you're looking at this person going, you know, I passed up a lot of pussy for you, and now no. That's another thing that I want to talk to the United Nations about. Yes, international law. I have to start talking to people about international law. The laws will still be on the books, but you can always make a business contract. You can always tell people, you know what, romance is romance, but you know what, business is business. You have assets, protect your assets. Man, woman, whatever, protect your assets. Or if you want assets, then you put that in. You show yourself. But this idea that we'll just go on the way things are, just no, 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 no. Someone has to shake people out of it. And I'm that person. So I have a lot to talk to Vancouver about. I got to put it into a nice presentation. I have to type it up and then have it ready because I'm going to send it to them in an email and then speak it to them. Speak. I am terrible with English. I'm going to speak about those issues in person with them. My PTSD is going to go off. I will just have to deal with it because these people are supposed to represent the United Nations. They're not supposed to be cultists like these fucking West Coast people are. So there's that. So maybe by next week I'll be able to say, Princess, your nightmare is over. Enjoy your other castle. Because I'm just tired of all this fucking bullshit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people that you block me from going outside? I don't know. Either way, that was the podcast for today. My name is Ian Iliona. I am an environmentalist, a human rights activist, a mutant, a werewolf, a hero for environmental issues. I'm a socialist, proud of it. What can the people do for you? That's my attitude. Trying to build a new tone, trying to make a difference in this world where there could be change, there could be real change. I hope to see you on the next podcast. Please like, subscribe, and follow.